Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Walk and Talk with Josh, here with Dr. Ken Carter. Thanks for joining me today.
Great to be here.
Honored to be out here on the Oxford College campus, starting here in the library. We're going to take a walk. Before we do, Dr. Ken Carter, Charles Howard Candler Professor of Psychology, former interim dean last year. We'll talk about all of these things, but we're going to back up. Dr. Carter, before you were Dr. Carter, how did you discover Oxford, and what are your beginning affiliations with Oxford College?
Yeah, I was a student here at Oxford back in 1985. Grew up in Columbia, South Carolina. When I first saw the campus, I knew it was the place for me.
Awesome.
First generation college student, really never really been on a college campus before, and I knew that Oxford was a perfect place for me.
Exiting the library takes a little bit. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
So came from Columbia, South Carolina to Oxford?
Yes, and was interested in psychology. I've known I wanted to be a psychologist ever since I was in the 5th grade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so coming here to Oxford, this library, different version of it was here, and really inspired me a lot with my thinking about going into psychology, thinking about public speaking. A lot of the things I'm doing today started right here on this campus.
That's awesome. Continued to the Emory campus?
Went on to the Alumni campus and majored in psychology. A lot of those individuals helped write me letters for graduate school.
Yes.
Went to grad school at the University of Michigan.
Yep.
And then came back to Atlanta, worked at the CDC for a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was a behavioral epidemiologist doing a lot of research, but I missed the energy of Emory. And so when I heard about a job here back at Oxford, left my job at the CDC, and I've been here ever since.
What year was that?
Came back in the mid-90s, like 93, 94.
Awesome. So have been here at Oxford since then. And as I mentioned at the beginning, took a little tour as interim dean last year.
I did. I never, think as a first generation college student, not thinking about being a professor, not thinking about going to college, the idea of being interim dean was a really amazing experience for me. I really enjoyed it.
Well, I'm glad you got through that. I know you love that experience. You and I have had the chance to talk about that. And I'll be doing one of these with our new dean here very soon.
Yeah, she's amazing.
So, Dr. Carter, that leads us to kind of the reason for this walk and talk. Yeah. You are leading a new center here at Emory.
Yes.
The Center for Public Scholarship and Engagement.
Exactly.
So tell us about what led to the formation of this new center.
Really, it was a conversation that I had decades ago with my mom. She came to visit me at Michigan, picked up some work I was reading, put it down in about 10 seconds, but opened up some books from my advisor and was really interested in it. And it was then I sort of realized that academics are really good at talking to each other, but not that great about talking to people outside of academia. Yep. So it's really a way to connect scholars with the community and the community to scholars.
Okay. So Center for Public Scholarship Engagement, about connecting the community to scholars. Tell us about what programming or how will this center come to be for the public to engage? What type of things should they anticipate coming out of the center? Yeah,
so really 3 big things. One is a public scholarship academy, a couple of day event for people from all around the country to come to Emory so that faculty can learn to sort of up their public scholarship game, really be able to communicate with the public in a really genuine way, share the amazing stuff we do. The other piece is a public scholarship festival that we're going to have right here at Oxford. Imagine the quad being transformed into this dynamic festival of ideas where we invite the public to sort of see what we do. About 20% or so of those individuals will be people from the Emory community sharing the amazing work that we do in an accessible way. And others will be sort of world-class scholars and public speakers sharing those ideas. It's going to be an amazing, amazing weekend.
Awesome. So You know, you and I were talking before as I was asking about this center, because there certainly in today's world is the need for public scholarship you know, the issues around mistrust.
Yes.
President Fenves actually has spoken about, and actually I saw a study come out recently that mistrust of higher education is at an all-time low, trust of higher education. How will a center like this address those types of issues?
Yeah, so for my discovery seminar that I'm doing on campus, the topic is why we believe weird things. And part of that is when people feel sort of outside of the conversation. So I think bringing people onto campus, talking about those ideas, finding out like what goes on at a campus. A lot of people in our community don't feel connected and are part of our Oxford and Emory community. So I think having them be part of those conversations and sharing those ideas is going to really help knit us together and help with that misinformation.
So do you think this issue of, you talked about it, accessibility, your mom putting down in 10 seconds, the book, do you think accessibility is part of what is leading to some of these issues?
I think a lot of it is. I mean, I know the amazing research and stories that we create at Emory, and I feel like there's an easy way for us to be able to communicate that, because the knowledge is really for all of us. It really helps to democratize that knowledge so it doesn't feel like it's siloed in spaces that aren't available to the public.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask, obviously, how will students and faculty be involved in this? You've talked a little bit about that, but I guess I shouldn't complete that question without asking, how will the Oxford and Covington communities be? Because if this is about ensuring the accessibility, so how will the different communities come to participate in this work throughout the year?
Yeah. Well, at the festival, there'll be a great opportunity for that, and building up into the festival. We have an amazing programming committee, and we're engaging people from the local community to be a part of that. In fact, in a couple of weeks, we have a great meeting with a lot of the public librarians in Newton County and other areas to find out what because they know a lot about the kinds of programming needs the community needs, and we're going to continue those conversations throughout the year. During the regular semester, we're also going to start doing programming for the faculty and the community as well. We're working on pop-ups in Atlanta where we go into coffee shops and restaurants with panel discussions of faculty to engage with the public in that way as well. So lots of exciting things to come.
That's awesome. So it will engage students and faculty here, but also on the Atlanta campus,
yes,
right?
In fact, we're planning something for homecoming when a lot of alumni will be here leading a discussion on civil conversation. And so we've got some great events coming up in Atlanta and beyond. So
awesome.
We're just getting started.
It'll be great to engage our alumni community in particular around homecoming so that they can see more about this center and what it's about as well.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So as you think about a vision for the future, right? I mean, this is a new center.
Yes.
You're launching these programs and activities in a new way. But as you think, Dr. Carter, and 5 years into the future, or as we move forward, how do you imagine a center like this continuing to influence the Emory community?
Well, you know, we're already doing so much with public scholarship, and so my thought is to really enhance what we're doing, knit it together so we have a bigger impact of the research that we're doing. And the community sees the importance of the work that we do and feels a really vital part of it. And I'm hoping this will also be a model for how colleges can reach out into the community to really help in, to be able to elevate a lot of the trust that the community has on what we do.
That's great. So as we wrap up, I mean, we've talked a little bit about the Ideas Festival on the Quad. Can people come to it? So as we think about the audience watching this walk and talk, as they think about, that sounds very interesting, this Ideas Festival, so I understand it's going to be called. Tell us about the Ideas Festival in a little more detail and the availability of that to people who might want to participate.
Yeah, it's a free event. It's going to be the weekend of September 20th this year, 2024. Starts off on a Friday with bringing in a lot of Newton County school kids to the Oxford campus. We're going to give away some free books, have some conversations with children's authors, some interaction with Emory and Oxford faculty. Big keynote Friday night, Then Saturday and Sunday, about 45 events over those 2 days, over 12 different programming areas,
Wow.
and it's free to the public. We want everyone to come to campus, engage in this really amazing festival of ideas.
That's incredible. Y'all have got a lot of work to do between now
A
and
lot of
September,
work to
don't
do,
you?
but we've got a really great team. And for people who want to know more, they can go to publicscholarship.emory.edu, take a look at our initial website. But we should be releasing some names of the people who are going to be here in the next couple of weeks.
Great. So as this walk and talk goes out, we'll make sure to include that link. We'll also, I'm sure, be doing lots of social media around the event and speakers as they're announced. So glad to have the opportunity to connect with you.
Yeah.
We've been friends a long time,
Yes.
but I'm so excited about this new center and the work that it's going to do here at Oxford, in Atlanta, and I would say in the broader community at large, right? That's really what it's about.
It's really what it's about. It's really sharing what we're doing.
Awesome. Any final words?
Thank you for all your support. And if you're interested in more, just take a look at our website.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for tuning in for another walk and talk with Josh. Thrilled to be out here at Oxford and look forward to having another one your way soon. Take care. Thanks for tuning in.